when I went to school, I trained to do television, directing, producing, cameras, all this stuff. Plus, in my master's program, I did that, and I also had another major in biblical studies. Never once thinking I would be a pastor of a church. Matter of fact, the last thing in the world I wanted to be was a pastor in church. But I thought I would go in television, and I did get asked by one of the largest networks in the United States to join their team to do news around the world. I turned it down. I went into Christian broadcasting, and then from there I went into pastoring. It reminds me of Luke. Luke in the New Testament, who wrote the book of Luke, and incredible. He's a doctor. Yet if you look at the life of Luke, he was more involved in telling people about Jesus than practicing medicine. And the craziest part about this is this. Some people would say, well, why would God let him go through medical school and all this stuff, but then he turns around and becomes an evangelist? Well, the reason is this. If you look at the book of Luke, the way he wrote it, he's so specific about the life of Jesus, just like a doctor is specific about medicine. Now, the reason I tell you about Luke, and I tell you a little bit about myself, is not to brag, but to say this to you. Don't be so locked in to what you want that you're not going to do what God wants. See, there was a time in my life where, oh, please, God, don't let me be a pastor in church. No, come on, what's wrong? Like, I got invited to one of the largest networks in the United States to work on their newscast, all this stuff, and now you're taking me down to being a pastor. But the key is this: when you do the will of God and you don't do your own will, you're going to be incredibly blessed. If I had to do life over again, I would do it God's way, just like I've tried to do it this way through God. I think if Luke had his way over, he would say, yeah, sure, I'll become a medical doctor, but please, let me be an evangelist for Jesus. Do it God's way, not your way. Have a great day. Love you.